Tareq Hadhad's father ran a chocolate factory in Damascus, Syria. That factory was bombed in 2012. The family then fled to Lebanon. After spending close to 3 years in a refugee camp, the family arrived in Canada and settled in Antigonish, Nova Scotia earlier on this year. Tareq's father has now started his chocolate-making business once again. Pretty amazing, and is hoping to expand that. Tareq now joins us in studio. Welcome to your morning.
Thank you so much. Good first morning for me in Toronto.
Yeah, is it? Is it the first time in Toronto?
It's really great. Yeah.
What's your experience been like so far?
Oh, actually, it's great. It's great. But you know, the cold weather, it's just a shock for us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I bet. So let's take us back to your life growing up in Damascus.
Sure,
what was life like for you?
It was awesome. Like my father, when he started his business in the home kitchen in Damascus, you know, he said he loved to see people happy. And he knows that everybody eats chocolate will be happy. And the chocolate is a symbol, you know, for sharing happiness and celebrations. So when he started in his home kitchen, you know, his mother supported him, his friends and his relatives. Step by step, he reached the level that he opened a small factory. He got the brand name after 10 years, and he started exporting to other cities in Syria after maybe 15 years. 2005, he started exporting to Iraq, Jordan, and Europe. We reached Germany and so much, you know, European countries at that level of time. We were producing the finest chocolate in the Middle East. You know, we were a very big company. In 2010, we reached really a high level, you know, of our profits expanding, you know, and the exports.
It's a big operation.
It was really big company.
So when did you see the change start to happen?
The change, actually, in Syria, it takes a lot of time to you know, have the change in your business. But since 2005, we really realized that we are going to make a huge chocolate operation factory, you know, in the Middle East. And we really did, you know, and my father and the whole family was so happy by the achievement. We always, you know, said that we have a bright future, all the family in Syria, while, you know, our business is going very well. I was doing medicine in Damascus, and my siblings all have real bright future.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine, you know, something so successful, but that you have control over. What you didn't have control over was what was going on around you.
Exactly.
That day in 2012 when the factory was bombed,
yeah.
What do you remember from that day?
I was in my faculty of medicine. I was in my laboratory, and my father called me. He was at the factory, and he said, it's getting really dangerous around me. I said to him, please get out of the factory with my brother. He said, I can't. I have, you know, an order for Germany. I said, please get out of there. It's going to be dangerous. He left, and he stayed up the hill. Like after 10 minutes, he was watching the plane coming, you know, to that place. And he said, I saw the plane, you know, it bombarded there, but I didn't know where the rocket hit. After a day, he heard the news that the whole factory was bombed. 2 employees were there. They stayed there. Unfortunately, they died. And really, he stayed in shock for 3 days. He didn't say anything. Every time I asked him, you know, a question, he said, everything was gone. Everything was gone. That was the short response from him for around like 3 days. We didn't hear anything from him. Everything he has been building since 40 years for the whole family was gone in just, you know, 1 hour. So there are things in life, actually, there are incredible things happening in Syria. Nobody knows, you know, what's going on there. But it's really tough for me and my family at that day to hear that news. And we said that, you know, our life will start again from zero.
And that's what you did. So you were in Lebanon. And how did the Canadian Embassy find you?
First, it started actually, I was volunteering with the United Nations in Lebanon, and I met a friend. He said, there is a scholarship at the Canadian Embassy. I applied. I went there. I have a great application. And they said, finally, your application is excellent. When I met with them, they said, the age limit for the application is 22, and you are 23. It was really disappointing for me, you know.
Right.
After 2 months, they said, you are invited with your family to be resettled in Canada. We reviewed your application again, and we just checked that it's excellent. And
what was that moment like for you when you heard that?
It was excellent. Like, you know, it was really the moment of my life, you know. When they called me and they said, you are approved. But then I moved to my family, and I said to them, we are approved to go to Canada. They said, Canada is too cold. So that was the moment that I told them that we are approved to go to Canada.
And Antigonish as well.
We didn't know that you are coming.
Of course,
to Antigonish, yeah. But
and so let's take a look. What can you tell us about this picture we're looking at?
My sister, when she arrived at the airport, actually, she stayed behind, you know, in Lebanon. We left her, and we didn't know that she will join us, you know. Everybody in Antigonish worked so hard, and I really thank everybody from the 7,000 people who are in Antigonish, donated really from their hearts, you know, when they said, you know, we can't leave your sister in Lebanon with her 2 children. seeking the safety. And while, here, everybody can donate a dollar, and it can make a difference. We received her at the airport before 2 weeks, and it was an excellent moment.
Okay, so let's talk about the moment when Justin Trudeau gets up to the podium, gets to the microphone, and starts telling the story of a Syrian family. That's your family.
Yeah.
Did you know he was going to tell the story?
No, we didn't know. Absolutely, we didn't know. It was really fascinating. We didn't believe that. The whole family were on the supper table, and I started to receive calls from media. They said, "What do you think about the Prime Minister mentioning you and your father?"
And that was at the Leader Summit, and this is when you actually met him, right?
The meeting, with the Prime Minister when he came to Sydney, and he invited us to say, "Thank you for your leadership, thank you for your contribution in the community." We were really grateful for that moment.
And so now the chocolate business is starting up again. And it's doing very well, especially because you've got the stamp of approval
Absolutely.
from the Prime Minister.
We had free advertising.
Really?
So it was...
Not everyone meets the Prime Minister, by the way.
We were really fortunate to meet him. And peace by chocolate. What do you need, much more, a great message than peace now? The world now really needs peace and needs a chocolate. So we said that we can deliver our message by our product. And when all family were discussing what to call the business, it was really straightforward for us because in May, we donated our profits for the Canadian Red Cross for the wildfires that hit hard Fort McMurray. Because we said, we really feel, how it feels when you leave your house, to nothing, to nowhere. You have now nowhere to go. So Peace by Chocolate now is really growing very fast since the Prime Minister mentioning us, since the Antigonians really helped us, to promote our business, to start it from few pieces now to thousands of pieces every day. 90% of our production now is going to Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia. And we received
You're
orders.
Building the business again,
exactly,
Tareq.
received orders from United States. So that is really fantastic.
One sweetness at a time, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. If you want more information, Tareq, we appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure.
Good luck to your family.
Thank you so much.
We've got all the information you need on our website, yourmorning.ca.